transformational aha moments like into the GovCon challenge. Hi, Michelle. It is day 4. Yes, day 4. Who's ready for day 4 challenge? Of course, who's been having an amazing transformational aha moments like over the last 3 days? Let me know. Type me in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. So look, I have some good news for you guys. I have some good news and I have some sad news. Sad news is, of course, we have more days behind us than we have in front of us, okay? So we only have 2 more days together. However, the good news is, for those of you who completed the application yesterday, you're going to get an opportunity to work with me and my team over the next 6 months. So we can actually help you secure your first 6-figure contract. So we're going to be discussing that opportunity after class today. So I'm super excited for all of you that are here. Let's see. Let me make sure if you can pop your camera on. We got something very special in store for you all today. So for those of you who haven't completed the application just yet, this is going to be your last opportunity to do so. So team, can you do me a favor and drop the link in the chat just in case they missed the application yesterday? But here's what I will say. When you complete the application, as a reminder, do not try to send any money. It's a free application because people usually try to do that, right? It's a free application and we only just want to see if you qualify, okay? Because we only have the capacity to take on 47 new clients. And of course, in this particular challenge, the entire challenge, we have over 400 people who signed up for this event. So that means that only about 10% of y'all will actually be able to take advantage of the opportunity to work with myself and my team. Again, I will also say this. Actually, I'm gonna wait for that. What I will do is I'm gonna go ahead and do the Q&A. I will do the Q&A and then I'll get back to all the announcements right after, because I see a bunch of hands up already. So if you already know that you have questions, make sure you get your hands up. And remember, my question is, get right into the question. Okay. All right, cool. So with that said, Patricia, who do we have coming up first?
Oh, cool. Number 1 today. Nice.
Yes. Hi, Phil.
Hey, how you doing, Doc?
I'm doing
Phil
great. How are you?
Macklin. I'm doing well. Phil
Yes.
Macklin, Southland Creative. Real simple question for you. When you got your first contract, how did you manage your own self-doubt or imposter syndrome? How did you negotiate that and still move forward?
I mean, that's a really good question, because when you first start getting contracts, you're gonna be like, oh my God, they really gave me this amount. Like they really trust me to deliver this service. And so you really do start having self-doubt about, am I good enough? Can I really do it? Am I really the expert? All those particular things. And so, luckily I'm married to a person who like really inspires me. And he was just like, you been the boss, you know what I'm saying? Like you've been doing this, like, it's just a different customer. So just go out and do what you do, whatever. So I did have like a community of people who really supported me emotionally through that process. But also that's when I really start honing in on my daily affirmations, just reminding myself that I already have the skills, and I was just actually just underestimating my ability to be who I really was. And so it helped me to evolve that way, just by doing the affirmations. And so yeah, I would say, even though it looks like, when it's going to feel like, oh my God, it's the government, right? But they're just people. So when you start thinking of them as, these are people, this is somebody mama, somebody uncle, somebody auntie, somebody, nieces, whatever that works in government, then these are people, then you can relate to people. So that would be my advice to you for sure.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Nani. Yes. I don't know if anybody's there. Nani, are you there? Let me know. Oh, it's not letting you unmute. Okay. Let me try to send you. There we go. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Okay, there you go. Let's see if we can get some audio. If not, you can just drop your question in the chat because I still can't hear you even unmuted. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now we have Dr. Rayan. Welcome back.
Unmute. Good evening, Dr. K.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking the question. So my name
Sure.
is Dr. Rayon Walton, and I am the owner of Walton Global Enterprise LLC. I solve growth barriers by architecting different systems and help business stay compliant and scalable and all that stuff, right? So my question is, what strategies should I, prioritize to move from small initial contracts into sustainable multi-year government opportunities? Because I don't, you know what I mean? Like I can't, sometimes I just get in my head, I'm like, well, how do I even get started,
Yeah.
with prioritizing these things? Like what would
Yeah.
be your recommendation?
So my recommendation is to just really go in confident. Like you don't have to start with small micro contracts. You can literally, like the average contract, I would say one of my clients, beginners, between $250,000, 300,000, that was like their first contract. And so anywhere between 100,000, 350,000 could be your first contract, literally on average. That's what it is. And so, but it may be like a 1 year or 2 year contract. So really, it's just like what, getting paid, maybe $20,000, $30,000 a month, $40,000 a month, or something like that. But I wouldn't think, let me start small and grow. This is not the space where it works like that. It's like whatever problem you're solving, the value to solving that problem is what you're going to get paid. And it's worth it for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
But
so
good
much.
question. Yeah, you're welcome. Yes. Leilani, hello, welcome back.
Hello. Hi. Just a very quick question. As I was pulling together all the rest of the paperwork, so we're almost done with all of the from homework one, I went to the bank and asked for that bank signature card, and they said that banks don't usually send that. And so I was
Yep.
wondering, is there any bank that usually does? They gave me a letter, but it wasn't called a bank verification letter. It does have our account number and stuff on there. Will that usually suffice with the
Yeah,
government?
yeah. So as I mentioned, on day one, like some banks, they think it's their document, but it's really yours. And so some banks give you the pushback. So in that case, the bank verification letter, that's what you need. You can accept that, the government will accept that. As long as it has the bank, letterhead on it, it has the name, and who's authorized to sign on the account. As
Yeah.
long as it has that with a signature to the banker, then you can use that.
Okay, great. That's all I had. Thank you.
Yes. Yep. All right. Miss Diane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, good. How I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, good evening. My name is Diane. My business is F&M Diagnostics. My baby just was born 2 days ago.
Ah,
Yeah,
your
that's what
baby or your business? Oh, I was like, wait,
my
you just had a
business is
baby?
my
Okay. And you up here? I was like,
yes,
okay, you're doing your thing. Yeah,
yeah.
congratulations.
And I say that thank you, everybody. I see the congratulations.
Yeah.
And I say that because I just received my what it my operational agreement, my
Uh-huh.
LLC. I just
Yeah.
received my LLC. So
Okay.
my question is so if I fill out the form, the 8822B, to
Mm-hmm.
change my address for the
Mm-hmm.
IRS
Mm-hmm.
purpose, do I have to go and physically change the address on my LLC from the
Yep.
registered agent to my home address also? Or
Yep.
after I fill out the 8820B, that's all I have
It's,
to do?
nope. You also have to update the Secretary of State documents, the LLC documents. So you have
Okay,
to,
so the
yep. So
address
you have,
on the LLC won't have the registered agent on it anymore.
No, so you have to, so it's not going to automatically transfer from the IRS to the Secretary of State. You have to do it as a separate step to update the address on your LLC filings. So if you go to the Secretary of State website, you can click what's called a statement of information update, and then you can file an update to change your address there.
It's called a statement.
Statement of information update.
Oh, statement of information update. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Good question. Yes. Congratulations as well again. Okay. So I was looking at something in the chat that I wanted to speak to. Somebody said, who said that? It goes so fast. She said, I'm praying that I can get a contract. I can't remember what it said exactly. I lost it in the chat. But she said, I'm praying that I can win a contract. I would say prayer, faith without works. When you do the work, you will get the result. I want to say that it's not something that you pray for, wish for, hope for. Yes, pray about it, all those particular things. But just know that if you do the work, that is when you will manifest it in real life, right? So let's not just let it be a hope, a wish, a thought. Let it be something realistic on your goal list that you're going to go make it happen by just doing the work. Okay. So it's realistic for anybody that is here. She said, God's orders our steps. Yep. That means absolutely. I love it. Nani said, God orders our steps, which means you got to do the work. You got to move out of your seat. Yes. And just do the work. Okay. So I hope that was a blessing for everybody. I just wanted to encourage you there because I was like, because I understand. I see people like, because I remember when I was like, before I had the results that I have, I used to be, one day I hope to be a homeowner. One day I hope to, and I was just hoping and wishing and thinking that one day it was just gonna happen. But it wasn't until I got up and start moving to make things happen that everything that I always hoped for, dreamed for, wished for became a reality. It's because I put the work in to make it happen. And so that is what I'm passing on to you. Anything is possible when you do the work. And that's the word right there. That's the word for the day. Awesome. Hey, Lakita. So, Lakita, I just realized that you won $200 from the webinar and you won $250 last night. So, girl, you getting your money on. So, congratulations again to you. All right. So, we have Kashana here. Hey,
Hi.
Kashana.
Hey.
Hi.
So I don't have a business established as of yet, but I do have a question about you were mentioning that in terms of the government contracts, if we are going to be hiring someone else to actually do the work under the bid, that we would, or if we're going to be looking into getting a government contract, that we would need to know or have like about 1 to 3 people on board that we'll be able to utilize in terms of completing the assignment for a particular bid. I guess I wanted to know if
So wait. Are you asking a question or are you giving like information about what you're looking to do?
no.
So
I'm gonna be asking a question, but it's based off of some of the information that you've already provided to us.
okay.
Well, you answered somebody else's question. I believe it was yesterday, and I'm kind of asking a follow-up question based off of that. I think that their question was asking if we were to get in contract with somebody and they didn't fulfill the bid that we accepted, what would we do? And you mentioned that we should probably like
Okay.
find at least 3 people
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
type of, so
That can
my
back it up. Mm-hmm.
right. My
Yeah.
question is, in terms of when we're looking at actual government bids, does it give like the scope of the work before we actually?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how you know what to pitch as far as pricing. That's how you know if you want to keep it in-house or outsource it, because they're always going to give you what's called the scope of work or the job description.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's all.
Okay. All right. Good question. All right. Gregory.
Hello. Hey, Dr. K.
Hi.
Hi. Thank
Hello.
you for having this awesome opportunity.
You're
I do have a
welcome.
question. My name's Greg Harvey. My LLC is Motor City Projects and based in Detroit. My question
Sound
is,
like Detroit. That's what I was like. That sounds familiar. Okay.
yeah, so
That's
that's
because
the
that
issue.
Detroit is Motor City capital, right? That's what it's known as.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I love the name. I've grown this attachment to it, but it's been sitting for maybe 3 or 4 years. It's a couple hundred to get it in good standing, but
Mhm.
it has the EIN and everything. And the issue that I'm having, or a question that I'm bringing forth is, um, holding on to that name versus getting an entirely new name. What I do is AI automation and digital marketing. So
Mhm.
I like to use this LLC as a solutions provider, as a
Mhm.
third party.
Yep. So, I mean, if it's only like a couple $100, because it will probably cost you the same to start brand new. So, yeah. So it doesn't matter whichever one you decide, even if you just pay the couple $100 to get it back in good standing, then you
Mhm.
already have everything else. Like you already have probably your EIN and you just have to build from there. So yes,
And as far
someone
as
would
the
got,
name,
uh-huh.
Motor City Projects, it doesn't sound like a red
Yeah, Motor
flag.
City Projects. Yeah, no, it's fine. Motor City Projects. I mean, I think it's kind of general, but it almost says like automobile type of thing, but it's
Mhm.
general because you put projects at the end. So I think you're good there.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Okay. You're welcome. Ruth. Hello.
Yes, my name is Ruth Sabine. My business name is Maud B. Almond Foundation. I want to know if I should change if incorporation. So if I should change the name to take out foundation and make it an LLC instead of an incorporation.
Okay, so right now it's a corporation.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, no, you don't have to change the name. It's called Morbid Foundation.
Mott Mott B. Almond Foundation.
Okay, yeah. No, I think that's a general enough name. It's fine. So unless there's some reason why you want to go from corporation to LLC, like as far as asset protection, or maybe you don't need that much protection. So, but other than that, for government contracts, you can start exactly with the name that you have.
And foundation is not a problem. The name foundation is not a
It's
problem.
not. So is it a nonprofit?
No, it's not, but I just called it foundation. Some people are
Okay.
saying this foundation is
Yeah.
gonna make it look like it's a
It's
non-profit,
a
but
nonprofit. I mean, people will question, like they will automatically think that it's a nonprofit. But it's nothing wrong with having the word foundation in your name. So
okay.
yeah, I think you'll be good.
All
Mhm.
right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, these are really great questions. Christopher, this is the first time I've
Hi,
ever
hello,
seen
doctor.
that name spelled phonetically like that. It's
Yeah,
nice.
that's the way, like the Hispanic way to say it, the Spanish way.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yes,
How are you?
very
How are
unique.
you?
So basically, the company is not mine, from my mom. She's here also in the call, but she doesn't speak English that well.
Okay.
So I gonna be the one talking. So the name is America Global Supply LLC.
Uh-huh.
We are a office supply company. We have
Mhm.
won 5 bids already. So
Okay.
basically, the question that I want to ask you is, if you have a full program that goes more into detail about the bidding strategies and other more useful information
Absolutely.
apart from this
Absolutely.
5-day challenge. That's the question.
Absolutely. Yes, tell su madre sí. Yeah, we do. Yes,
All
we
right.
do. So, and congratulations, by the way, you won 5 bids. Would you like to share the volume of that, or it's up to you if you want to share
Well,
total?
they're not that it's not that big of a bid. It's
Uh-huh.
basically less than, let's say, $20,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I
So
don't
that's good.
remember. So. at the moment.
Micro purchases. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great. So that's excellent. Congratulations on that. But yes, absolutely.
thank
I'm
you.
glad you asked. Later on today, I'm actually going to go into the details of our next level program that goes specifically into bidding strategies, pricing strategies, and we show you how to actually get bigger bids. So it covers the entire gamut beyond getting qualified. Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Kim, hello.
Hi, Kim
What's up?
Jones, KRJ Consulting Group. I apologize because I'm going back a little bit. I asked you this question before. So
That's okay.
you were saying you were telling me that if my old LLC, Kim Jones Consulting, is still active, and I went in and it is still active.
Okay.
So now with my new company, instead of getting an LLC under KRJ Consulting Group, can I do Kim Jones Consulting doing business as KRJ Consulting Group?
Absolutely. Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Because
Yep.
that would make it more broad. Like you were saying, I don't want to get pigeonholed into one area.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That was it.
Okay, you're welcome. Hey, hi, Miss Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. My name is Jennifer Witter. I am the owner of Witter Enterprise Solutions. And so we offer solutions for basically is accounting services, some public speaking, some consulting, etc. But my daughter does a florist. She does flowers. So I would like to bring her under my umbrella. Would that be something that I can do as a DBA or
You can do
how
it.
does that work?
You can do it as it is under your existing, as you said, solutions. Yeah.
Yes.
So solutions company can provide any kind of solution. So it's very general. And
Okay.
absolutely you can do that. You can bring her in under you.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Put my phone on disturb. All right. Ronette, hello. No audio. We don't have any audio. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, hi, Michelle. I said, I had a few questions, but it seems though as everybody have answered them because the young lady just went before me. I'm sorry. My name is Ronette Hill. My business is El Shaddai Teaching Ministries. It's long. I'm not going into all that, but and so what I did was today I did a DBA. And so the young lady just basically, because when you said solutions, is basically you can do anything. So I did a DBA today with ELSTM, Industry Solutions Provider. Is that like so?
You already did it?
Yeah, I paid for it today, and I did. So I should not have,
Yeah.
or
I mean, no, it's fine. I mean, you didn't have to add the provider at the end, but it's still general enough. It's great.
oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to all
Mhm.
right, and I guess I can ask all my other questions because I'm in the class. So uh,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. I hope you're feeling better as well. Sylvia.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Scott. I have a nonprofit called Keeping the Peace, which is short for short, and I also have a DBA that actually goes with Keeping the Peace. My question is that whenever you're applying for grants and things like that, when it comes to email, like, do you have to have a company specified email, or can you have a generic Yahoo or Gmail
Oh yeah,
type
you can have a
email?
generic. Yeah, you can have a generic like a Gmail.
Okay.
Yep. So
right, thank
easy
you.
question. That's good. Like excellent question. So yeah, so the great thing about doing business with the government, I mean, you can use Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, doesn't matter, or you can have a professional email. When it comes to like grants, funds, and all those particular things, that's when you want to have your brand line. Everything matches, everything is professional. But for contracting with the government, you're good to start right where you are. Rachel.
Hi, thank you for taking my
Hello.
question.
You're welcome.
Yes. My business is Heartwarming Care LLC. It's a non-medical home care agency. My question is, I started my business since
Mhm.
2022, and since then I've not been making any money. Like, so I've been investing a lot of money. I keep all my licenses, everything up to date, everything. But would I still be qualified if for government funding because of that?
So
Because
would you
I'm
be
trying,
what is the question?
would I be,
Would you be qualified if what's the scenario? You've had your
yeah, would I
businesses,
still be
but you haven't done.
qualified? Because I want to get government funding. I got everything, everything up to date or everything established, but it's just like I'm not making money yet. I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
clients.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you still qualify. So you don't have to make any money. You just like even if you haven't made money in your business, if you've ever gotten paid doing it as a side hustle, doing it, voluntarily or whatever at a church, that experience carries over with you. So you don't have to have made any money in your business at all in order to qualify.
oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good question. You're welcome. She said, I'm glad. She said, I'm glad. Somebody else is glad you asked that question. Excuse me. Vera.
Yes. Thank you, Dr.
Hello.
Anna. How
You're
are you?
welcome. I'm great. How
My
are
name is
you?
Vera Gill, and I have an LLC. It's 5 years old. So when I did the assignment with the NAC numbers, I only came up with 20 different jobs. But anyway,
Only.
well,
You
a
say
lot of people were like
only.
37 and 40 and all that. So I
It's
felt a little
okay.
low. But so the next step is to go on SAM-E and see what applies to that. Like, what's the next step after that? Because I must have.
Because did you miss yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the next step was to go on the small business size standard tool to see the value of your business based off your NAICS codes. So the homework assignment is inside the school community. It'll have the link to the SBA small business size standard tool, and then you just plug it in. You can also watch the replay. It'll walk you through. You are VIPs. The replays are inside the school community.
I got that, but what are the sites we're going to? I know we was talking about SAM, and what was some of the other ones? There was other
Oh no,
sites.
it's the SBA small business size standard tool. So the link is inside the school community, and you can
Right.
watch the replay to yesterday's training if you missed it to see how to use that tool.
Okay. All
Got
right.
it?
Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Yep. You're welcome. All right. Who do we have coming in? Oh, actually, I'm gonna read this question in the chat really quick. It was from the new mommy that is here, Bethany. So it says, if we have a solutions company to be broad, how do we design our website to be general enough to go after various contracts, but not look watered down? Really excellent question. So you would basically just design your, like, first of all, I would say this, you do not need a website to do business with the government. Okay. They don't even ask you for it. Most of the time, they never even look for one or expect you to have one. But if you do want to use one and you're going to market with that, then you would just build a general website as a solutions company for government. And I would just put consulting codes. So I would just look at consulting for business, consulting for marketing, consulting for environment, whatever. Just use a bunch of consulting codes. That way it is general. Yep. Rhonda.
Hi, my name's Rhonda. I have my company name is C&K Creative Mission. I just found you maybe shortly here. So I'm a nurse and I want to do some teaching and maybe some consulting and maybe supplies. My question is this name general before I get too far into everything, or is this name okay for the business?
Yeah, I think your name is okay. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome. So I want to say this before we bring up the next person. I know that when you started your business, just like most people, you think you got to have a logo, you got to have a website, you got to have branding, you got to have all these particular things. When it comes to the government, literally all you need is an EIN or a social. That's it. Okay. You can use your name as a business and still get paid. So that's the difference between the businesses that actually are bogged down with all of these busy tasks and things to do that does not lead to money versus businesses that discover, oh, all I need to do is have a business or have a sole proprietorship and offer a solution. Then I can use the government's money to go back and build my brand and invest in websites and invest in all those particular things. It's just like two totally different things from what we believe a business is and what a real business is. The real businesses that are making money, they're not thinking about logos and websites and none of that stuff. They're thinking about solving the problem. So if you can just get right to the money, solve the problem, that is how you're going to win. And then building a brand beyond that is going to be good, because now once you have a brand, then you can go to the bank and say, this is my brand. We have a professional website. We got logos, boom, 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 boom. Our things is in all, is in order. Okay. She said, Brittany. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? No, we have no audio. It's not muted for some reason, but we just have no audio. I don't know if you click on the little audio button in the left corner bottom of the screen. I think you get to choose what microphone you want to use, and you can just put it on computer, same system. Let's see if we can get you up here. Yeah, no audio. So maybe start. So maybe we can just come back. I don't know. Yeah, we can bring her back up. So at the bottom of your Zoom screen in the left corner, you'll see a tab that says audio. If you click on or the caret, then you can choose to just select your microphone, and then you can come back up. Sharon. I'm trying to make sure. Sharon. Okay. Because I was like, it's like everybody spells their name like that, and it's either pronounced Sharon or Sharon. So I'm like, okay, so Sharon. All right.
I have what I hope to be yes or no questions unless you want to expand. My name is Sharon, and my company is Marketing Plan. My question is, do I need a 2553 for my LLC?
2553.
Yes. I'm looking at the three. Yeah, the 2553 for the LLCs. That has nothing to do with the S corp. Will I need that?
Okay, so S corp is only if you want to elect to have an S corp. So is your business brand new?
No, 5 years I haven't used it.
But you haven't used it. Are you looking to become an S corp?
No, I just wanted to know if it's necessary.
Oh, it's not. So it's and I will also say this, now that you brought it up, for those who have single member LLCs or just general LLCs, once you elect to become an S corp by completing that IRS form 2553, that means you now have to pay yourself. Otherwise, you will be in violation. And if you don't have money in your business to pay yourself a reasonable salary, it doesn't make sense to switch to an S corp just yet. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna start an S corp because I heard it somewhere where you have to really be educated on what it is and what it means. Okay. So good question.
Is the article of organization the same as an article of incorporation?
It's not. Well, actually, it is. Sorry. Yes, it is the same. It's just called certain things. In California, they call it articles of incorporation. Other states, they call it articles of organization. Yeah.
Okay. Is the certificate of status the same as the operating?
It's not. Certificate of status is your company in good standing or is it suspended?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, did she pick me outside? I guess that's it. I was going with you. All right. So, Mary, how are you?
Good, thank you. Mary, my company is Portable Vision, and I'm here in New Jersey. Okay, I'm going to be rapid fire. Yes, no, promise to be fast. We got our and whatever our codes and our skill set, we're going to go and Sam, we're going to find jobs to bid on, and when we find something, walk us through that. It's like, here's your instructions.
What's that? Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, it's so fast.
Yeah. When we find a job to bid on, does walk us through how to do it, like fills out and do this, like will it be obvious?
It's not gonna be. It wouldn't be that obvious, but they do give you like the scope of work. They'll kind of like break down the scope of work timeline. They'll ask you for specific things, like give you some instructions. But as far as like how to put it together, they really don't give you all how to get together or anything like that. So you really have to know what you're doing. Yeah.
Can I apply for grants if I'm not a foundation?
So you mean grants or government contracts?
Grants.
Something different. Yeah. So a grant is completely different from government contracts. But yes, you can apply for grants even if you're not a foundation, not a nonprofit. You can apply for grants even if you're an individual, because they have grants for individuals as well. So a couple resources really quick is grants.gov. That's a really good resources. Grantswatch.com is another one. And Skip, SKIPP. Skip is a really good place for applying for grants as well. And I'll just give you one more. Hello, Alice. Yes.
Hello, Alice.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Mary.
Oh, she unmuted me.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Does anybody ever just pitch something when there's no contract request open?
You can do that. Absolutely. Good question.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a really good question. You can do that if you know that have a solution that hasn't been presented or requested. Then you can actually just pitch to the government as well.
That. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Keish. Okay.
Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
Okay, so being that we all have businesses already established, and I know you said we would do it based off our name or whatever. In your opinion, should we just say, okay, look, this business, because it's so basic and it's going straight to my home, can I just set up one basic business or government contracting and then brand the rest of them and just merge them all in once it's everything established?
Okay. So when you say brand the rest of them, meaning most
like if you have another business, like I have Chaos Enterprises, right? That's the original business. I could just start that with government contracting because it has my home address, and it's simple. I don't have to change anything. But then once I start making money, and I say, you know what, I'm about to go ahead and do this thing like they told me to. Then I go ahead and start something else and just put that underneath it as a part of it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Because that was one of those things that was kind of baffling. Like, okay, let me just start little and then work my way big.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, we have Tila.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Tila Charles, a couple of different businesses. So going off her question, if you have like a sole proprietorship or a business that has already filed taxes, I know we're going to go over that today, and that tax already, for the taxes, it already has kind of a code associated in their system. And then we may file taxes on this new business. Just wondering if that can cause any discrepancies or audits being warranted, because on tax purposes, it may say in this industry, but on Yeah, but it may show up as it may be a different industry under that. Okay.
It doesn't. Yep. It doesn't show up as It doesn't matter because they're asking you outside of your industry, what do you want to sell to the government? So it's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Great question. Repeat the grant website. Let me see. Grants.gov, grantswatch.com, Skip, SKIPP, and Hello Alice. All resources for grants, free money that you don't have to pay back. All right, Jessica.
Hi, good evening again.
Hi, good evening.
Jessica Fraser and Associates LLC. So my question, I wrote this in the chat a couple times, and I just want to get clarification because I'm going through and updating all my paperwork and things for my address. So I am a real estate agent. We have offices that we are able to use throughout the full state of Georgia. I have a home office. It's in a office building. We have our own suite and everything else. Can I use that as my address, or is it going to kick me back seeing that the suite is labeled to our broker's name?
Okay.
I'm trying to not use my home address. I don't
Because
always
you're
get
in real estate. So, so you're in the office with the broker.
Correct.
Basically, you're using a broker's address. So you can use the address, but the broker has to give you a suite number. So
yeah,
have
we
them,
do have a suite number.
but not their suite number, and a separate suite number. Because if they look up the address and it's going to come up under the broker's name, then it's going to look like a virtual address. So have the broker give you an actual suite number. You know, it could be something that they make up, and then it'll just be on your lease agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna have to think about that one because
Yeah. You're welcome. So the small business size standard tool in the school community is under day 3 homework trade.
Dr. Kirwana, there's a question from Cheryl onto the chat. I think that she cannot unmute herself, doesn't have audio.
So it says, can't seem to get okay. Question is, okay, so Dr. Cheryl, I already received 15 to 20 micro purchases. Congratulations. Like, we got some winners on here. Yes. Congratulations on that. 15 to 20 micro purchases a year. These are net 30 terms. Are federal contracts the same? Usually, like, are you asking, like, are federal contracts net 30s? Generally, most contracts are net 30. Some federal contracts could be net 14 days, or everything is negotiable. So you can negotiate the terms. Okay. I hope I heard answer your question clearly. All right. It just says iPhone. So you can just introduce yourself. Driving. Hello. Somebody
Hello?
driving. Yeah, hi.
Hi, it's Dark. I'm sorry. I'm Tanisha O'Neill. I'm with TNT Recovery Associates. My question is, because I'm trying to figure when you get the contract, and then they say, okay, you can go. Say they want you to supply water. You have to have that money up front to do it. So my thing is, if it's something like office or other stuff, how do we do that? When do they pay? Is it like 30 days, or like how do we do that? How do we prepare for that?
So your question is, if it's a product, you have to have the money, right, up front.
Right.
Yes, you
But
do
if
gotta
it's
have the money. But if it's a service, how do you get paid? Is that what you're asking?
yes, because that's what I'm trying to see. Because in subcontracting, you'll probably have to ask them, okay, look, do the work 30 days, we pay them, but how soon does the government pay you to pay them? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. So good question. I'm actually gonna illustrate that. So once you receive a contract, the contract is going to have the payment terms. Okay. It's going to automatically have the pay terms. So if it's like a 2 to 5 year contract, then it's going, usually they say 30 days net, which means that as you're doing the work, every 30 days, you're invoicing on the milestones over a 2 to 5 year period. So that means every single month you get paid for 5 years straight. Yep. And so when it comes to your subcontractor, you get paid every 30 days. So you need to tell them, I'm going to pay you within 7 to 10 business days after I get paid. That way you get paid, you can take your check, clear it, then you can write them a check or whatever, and it's time for them to be able to receive their money. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, because I was nervous with that part. And I want to say one more thing. I know, I understand the unbelief thing. My thing was, if God led us to it, he's going to open the doors up for the contracts to happen. So for me, I'm rolling with it. And thank you so much for believing in us as well.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Okay, so can a charged off SBA loan prevent you from getting a government contract? No, because usually a SBA loan is more on the business credit side if it's charged off. So business credit side, the only thing that will prevent you from being able to get funded through government is if you have, if you're in collections for owing taxes. So if you're in collections for owing taxes and you do not have a payment plan, then you have to get a payment plan so that they can release government funding to you. So that's the only thing that holds you back. Okay. Is it Sharon or Sharon?
Sharon.
Sharon.
I just want to say your nails is super cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question. When you doing the grants and you make up your list of services, do you put that on every contract?
No. So that's a part of the preliminary process. Like listing out your services is so that you know how to position yourself if the government is funding it, how they're calling it. So that's all about the preliminary process. Now, once you start looking for opportunities, then you're looking under those industry codes, you're looking under those keywords, right? So that's how you're doing it. And if a contract opportunity has multiple scopes that falls in different industries, then you know internally, you know, okay, I'm going to charge for this. This takes a different mindset, different skill set. So I'm going to charge separately for that, right? So it kind of gives you an idea after you've built your baseline. Now you know how to go charge the government.
Okay. Yeah. Now, do you use one packet for everything that you apply for?
Meaning, what do you mean one packet?
I mean, all your paperwork that you put together for your business contracts.
For the business foundation?
Yeah.
So, okay, good question. So everything that you guys did in day 1, day 2, that business foundation documentation, you're actually going to use that document to get all of your certifications.
Okay.
So, yeah. So tomorrow I'll go through like what certifications, where to go get them. But that's what you're going to need to apply for the certifications. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. You're more than welcome. All right. Juliet. Hi, Juliet.
Hi. I'm Juliet Bastian with Strategy Works Consulting. And my question is, if you have subcontractors that are out of the United States, like I know somebody in Canada and they can provide the services, can you use them?
Yeah, you can use it. You can use anybody that you want. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Good
I'll
question.
get back in line.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Denise.
Good evening, Dr. K, and thank you so much for these classes. From day one, you shared with us the importance of offering a solution, and along with so many other information. Today, I attended a meeting with Department of Labor, Department of Education, and a couple other people, and they mentioned that they're starting a new program called Ride to Work, and they're providing individuals with rides to work, like they do the disabled. And right now they're seeking vendors for someone to fill those contracts on the federal level, because the federal government will be paying. So what I'm saying is I'm going in these meetings now with listening differently than I normally listen. And just because of your class, it just kind of opened me up to a wide variety rather than being tunnel vision with our business. So if anybody's in transportation, the program haven't even rolled out. So this is an opportunity for you to go ahead, knock on their door, let them know you're available and you want, if you're in transportation, you want to provide transportation, and they'll do it. They said for individuals or companies. They said if we know anyone, they'll do it for any, and Greg, let's see his name, he's the Department of Labor Secretary, and his name is Greg Reed, R-E-E-D, Department of Labor. And it's called Everything Workforce is the program that they're just starting and looking for vendors. So just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that as well. Awesome. Opportunities. They are there, like literally. We have been sitting on money this whole time and nobody even knew. It's like right there in your backyard, state, regional, federal government, everywhere. So we have Cher. Hello.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Hi.
I'm gonna trail back to a statement that you had said, and we had this conversation before. My name is Cher Perkins, and I'm the owner of God's Given Gifts, Administrative and Developmental Services, LLC, and it's based on that. So we talked about the virtual address. I kind of want to keep my virtual address, but if I make a DBA, can I still do contracts underneath that DBA with and make that home address, that my home address?
You can do
I
that.
can still do that, and I can still keep my other company like I have it set up.
Yep.
God
you can
bless
do that.
you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. That's all.
Okay. Yes. Okay, cool. So subcontract. So can I use subcontractor who is out of the country to provide consulting services? Absolutely. So somebody had a question about Buy America. Buy America is related to products, not services. So things that are made in America, which is completely different from services. So in fact, I had a for a contract with the police accountability department in San Francisco to do graphic designs. And I'm really not a graphic artist. I'm just gonna keep it real. But so I use Fiverr to create the graphics, and they were in like Asia somewhere. So I mean, I can do a little bit of graphics, but as y'all can see, I doodle like stick figures. That's the best I can do. So you can use whoever you want. Yeah. As long as you get the job done. Leslie.
Hi there. Whoop,
Hi.
trying to get, hi, thanks for taking my question. Leslie Aaron Fine Art is my company. It's a sole proprietorship. And my question is that I want to get a more specific or a less specific name that's more general that'll allow me to get more contracts. However, I have 21 years of tax filing under Leslie Aaron Fine Art, sole proprietor. If I go out tomorrow and start an LLC or a more general name, I don't have the history. So how do I handle that?
So I'm glad that you brought that up. So your business, okay, whether you've been in business for 20 years or 2 days, both businesses are equally eligible to do business with a government. When it comes to like history, the history is attached to you, Leslie. So if Leslie have this business with experience and then she start a new business that's 2 days old, that same experience from 20 years ago follows you, even under the new LLC. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you can do it.
So for the requirement to show tax filing or invoices, it would be okay for them to say Leslie Aaron Fine Art?
So for this new entity, so you would just put is not applicable because your business just started, and you would just use your personal tax filings for 2 years.
I see. Not
Yep.
the Schedule C.
Yes, not the Schedule C, because for that new entity, you wouldn't have a Schedule C just yet.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Thanks for explaining that.
Yep, you're welcome. All right. I'm sorry, Patricia. I was reading the chat.
Yes. So my name is Patricia Vines. The business that I'm starting is going to be called Vines Diagnostics, and it's a DNA drug testing company for federal and Department of Transportation. During the process of getting our documentations together for the first night, you mentioned tax returns and receipts.
Yeah.
So if we don't have, well, you say use our personal tax returns for the last 2 years, but the receipts I don't have. Do I just like make up something?
Invoices, no, you don't make it up, but like invoices and receipts. So the invoices and receipts for your business could come from side hustle experiences that you got paid to do something, something that you probably did at church, or even if you volunteered and did some things for free, then you would just create an invoice, with that person's name or business name, how much it would have been if you had charged them. You could put the discount on there to make it free, but now you just have the documentation that you need to give to the government.
So I just need 3 receipts to show I was in business, not that it was for this particular business.
Yes. So really you are the business, right? It's just you're just putting 3 times that you got paid. That's it on those invoices. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. Timothy.
Hello, everybody. Tim Armstrong,
Hello.
L Premier Logistics. Dr. Corn, I know someone asked earlier about getting paid within that 30-day time frame. I want to get your take on possibly if you want to use a factoring company to do your invoice if you had no money to start with to pay your subcontractors and so forth.
Factoring companies, my opinion.
But yeah.
So sometimes people need it, sometimes people need to do what they have to do. So I don't per se use factoring companies, but I can see how that could be of value for someone who's brand new to this space. They just got this big $700,000 contract and it's going to pay out over a 2-year period. And they like, I need some money now up front. Then in that case, if you got to do what you got to do. But I will also say, but factoring companies, they're going to take a big chunk, they're going to charge you up to yin yang for it, but you got to weigh out the benefits of having upfront money, and then just make it count, make that money, make some more money for you.
Okay. I would figure I'd ask because I bought some other stuff and I made a note of that. So that's how I figure I'd get your opinion of it, but you got to start somewhere.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He said, you got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. Yes. All right. So what do we have? Oh, we want to take one more? We got one more. Okay. All right. Ty.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ty, and my business is TSE, which stands for Ty Smith Enterprises. Basically, I do HVAC and plumbing. My question is about the lease agreement. It's kind of a couple questions because I'm trying to understand the lease agreement part. I know you do a lease agreement, but the amount of money, I remember you saying something about no more than $600 if it was in the office space. No?
No, I didn't
Okay.
say. So I think you misunderstood because people were trying to figure out if they have a virtual office or if they have a registered agent address or if they're using an office that they can come in and use office spaces. I'm like, if you have not paid at least $600 a month, that's an indicator that you're not paying for an actual personal office. So that was a scenario that I was answering. But as far as virtual office, so you're asking, it doesn't matter if you paid $100, $90, whatever you're actually paying for your actual office space, that's the amount you will put on there.
Well, the lease agreement would be basically the office space out of my home. So I would write from the address to my business.
Yeah.
My question about that part is, do I need to take that amount of money out of my business account or put it in, or
No.
well, they take it
So
out?
honestly, it's just a piece of paper. So you don't
Okay.
even like, so all you're doing is showing that you've wrote a lease from yourself as a homeowner to your business and how much you're charging your business every month. That is it. It's just all documentation. It's not like they're going to say, let me see those transactions from your business to you, right? They're not going to see, they're
Okay.
not going to ask for
Okay.
that. It's just documentation.
All right. And the tax part, when my accountant and stuff like that, I don't need to worry about that.
As far as the accountant, no. I mean, I'm not an accountant, so I can't really give you advice on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
your accountant is gonna know how to do that, right? They're gonna know how to handle your taxes and everything like that. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Excuse me. That was quick. Like this, look, that little time went by so quick. We answered a whole lot more questions. Thank y'all for going right to the questions and not into a background and life story and going around. Like, because we were able to get through so many more questions today. Somebody asked a question about how old can your invoices be? It doesn't matter. Really, I don't want you guys to overthink it. Like, if you're creating an invoice, like if you're creating an invoice based off volunteer information, volunteer services or whatever, put a recent date. Like, it doesn't even matter if it was however, like, right? Don't overthink it. It's just preliminary. You got to hand in something with your application. Okay. And don't hand in something that you think they're gonna say, wow, this is like 70 years ago. Like, it's like, this is 70 years ago and you're only 30. How is that possible? Right? So just be aware of what you're putting on the application and think about it. Because if you would look at the paperwork and be like, what the heck? Then chances are they gonna look at the paperwork and say, what the heck? All right. All right. So yeah, it's day 4, y'all. Let me stop. Yeah, it's just funny. I'm sorry. I'm a little goofy today. But that was so funny. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get into day 4. Y'all excited about day 4? I have something very special for y'all. Since we talking about all this money, all this money that you getting ready to get into, some of y'all already getting money. Like, I heard micro purchases, I heard small supply contracts, I heard a big $1 million a year contract. I heard there's people in here already getting money. So y'all already know it's money to be gotten. Okay. So and some of y'all about to start getting this money too. So I believe that there's many of y'all that are real action takers and not just talking about it and not just hoping and wishing that one day it will just happen for you, but you're ready to put in the work. If that's you, type that's me in the chat. Let me know you are ready to put in the work. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. All right, cool. Yes, I see you. I see you. All right, cool. So it's day 4. We have something very special in store for you all. But let me also say this. So for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to complete the application today, by the end of the class today, we're going to talk about the opportunity. But I just want to make sure that your application is in, because if not, we don't know if we can help you, right? And so we don't know if you're qualified or whatever. So this is going to be your last opportunity to do so. You can do while you're here as well. Just get that application in. It's a very short application. Will you complete the application again? Don't try to send any deposits or anything with it, because it's just a free application, just so we can see if you qualify. Again, we only have 47 spots. There's over 400 people in this challenge, which means only a few people will be able to take advantage of the opportunity to work with myself and my team. Okay. Working with us is not cheap. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Working with us is not cheap. My one-on-one clients, my corporate clients that I work with one-on-one to help land these seven-figure contracts, they pay me upwards of $75,000 to work with me so that they are landing multiple six, multiple seven-figure government contracts. So it's not cheap, but you don't want cheap, right? You want the best, okay? Speaking of, I want to share with you a case study of one of my clients who actually took advantage of the opportunity to work with myself and my team. Let me see, is this it? Chrome, Google Doc, not that, but this. Okay. Took advantage of our of myself. I shared a little bit of his story, Mr. Lonnie, but let me just blow it up a little bit right here. So I want you to know like why it's not cheap to work with us, because these are the type of results that our clients are able to get. We walk them step by step through the process. Number one, Mr. Lonnie, after a few months of walking through the system with us, blueprint step by step, he won his first contract for air gas. And it was $40,000 a year for 5 years straight. That's $240,000 locked in. This is on top of what he was already doing in his t-shirt company. September of this year, in fact, the date is right here, September 18th of this year. Let me see if, can I annotate? Oh, I can't. This is the date. September 18th of this year, this is what he texted me. Your boy's done it again. What? You want another contract with the Navy? $735,000 for 3 years. That's a little over $260,000 a year. What? So, and then I say, congratulations. What did you get it for? Selling more gas. Okay. This man don't know the first thing about gas, emissions, safety, nothing. He just provided a solution, right? Then this is September 18th. Again, on September 22nd, 1921, 4 days later, he said, you are not going to believe this. We just won another contract. This one is with the Division of the Army. He bid it today. I mean, he bid it and it was $129,000. So in just 4 days, 1 week alone, over $1 million secured by this one small business owner in a little country town. Okay. And beyond that, he's landed even more, right? So 2 to 3 contracts won in a very short period of time. And so Lonnie is just one of very many clients that we help with a proven system. Now, with that, I also will say this. When you start landing contracts like this, because you will, especially if you understand that you're worth it, and especially if you really are going to approach this from a problem solving solutionary perspective, you will start landing contracts. Some of them will be small, nice, little small, 80,000, 50,000, whatever, but it's not going to be a year of your time for that. You can do that in a month, right? So some of them will be $250,000, 700,000, 1 million, or whatever, but the contracting opportunities are there. But here's what I would say. You want to make sure that you're not giving 50% of your earned income as a contractor back to the government in forms of taxes, right? So I talk about this whole wealth strategy, the wheels of wealth, how business credit, personal credit, government contracts, corporate contracting, but don't forget the tax strategies. And today I want to do something special. So we have someone, I didn't even know. Like, so the first time that I started landing contracts, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I remember very clearly when I got that 6-figure tax bill. And I was like, even though I had the money in the bank, I didn't want to part with it, right? I didn't know any better. 6 figures for a tax bill. I was used to getting refunds. I was used to writing off my kids, and getting refunds, right? I wasn't used to giving the money back to the government. And so absolutely, it wasn't until I ran into this young man who has been my tax expert, my colleague, my friend, in high-level masterminds, that I really understood how to keep the money. So for those of you who are ready to make the money, who here is ready to also keep the money, multiply the money, manage the money so that you can keep it in your family's generation cupboards? Yes, absolutely. So I want to introduce you to you all, my tax expert, who's going to show you exactly that. Right? His name is Carter Cofield. He's the CEO of a multiple 8-figure business, or 9 figures and beyond business, called Melanin Money. And he is the best tax strategist in America, y'all. And he is here to bless you guys with some information that is going to be game changer. Trust me, you will need this information. So hi, Carter. Thank you for coming.
I mean, what an intro. First of all, I'm gonna need to have you introduce me everywhere I speak now. But no, thank you so much for allowing me to come in and and add some value to your audience. Because like you said,
Absolutely.
making money is amazing, but keeping it is what is not talked about enough. So I appreciate this opportunity. And before I take over and start teaching, like I do want to highlight you because this is how many days are you doing? Is it 3,
But this is
4,
a
5 days?
5-day. Yeah, 5 day. Today's day 4.
Okay, so you took 5 days out of your already hectic business to
Yes.
come teach people a skill that you already know.
Yep, absolutely.
And so the reason I want to put it like that is because a lot of people aren't willing to do that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are gatekeepers or holders to information. Like, I got mine, I'm good. And
Yeah.
you are willing to take 5 days out your business to teach people a skill that they can use for the rest of their life. And
Yes.
I just want to say, thank you for being who you are. And I want to make sure I give flowers to you in front of this room before I even begin to teach, because I think that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for coming as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you asked, you shall receive. And this is the amazing part of having a good mentor. Like, you don't just get them, you get access to their relationships, right? Because I don't just pop in the car. I hit me earlier this week, like, can you come teach? I'm like, yeah, but I'm traveling. I'm not even at my home. So like for me to do this, it was because we are, really good friends. So shout out to relationships as well. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how long I got? Like 45 minutes, an hour maybe?
Yeah, probably like an hour.
Okay.
Yep, you got a good hour.
Okay. Cool. We're gonna have some fun. So, what's up, family? How y'all doing? For those of you all that don't know, as she said, my name is Carter Cofield. I'm a licensed CPA. I own a 8-figure tax and financial advisory company called Melanin Money. We help clients save on taxes and invest. And I've helped save clients, I think, north of, I don't know, $18 million in taxes since in the last 10 or so years. So, and today I want to help you, right? I just want to help you keep the money that you are about to learn, keep the money that you're about to make from, this government contracting work that you're going to do. But before I do that, y'all, is it okay, like, for the next hour, if we're a family, like, can y'all be my, what my homie calls it his credit cousins. I got a better term. Are y'all okay with being my rich relatives for the next 60 minutes? Yeah, or at least you like that, right? Rich relatives. Yeah. The family reunion. You already know. So let me know if it's okay if we be a family for this next hour, because I love to teach. I believe I was put on this planet to teach. And I just always have to get permission from the room to be able to be myself, right? Like, I'm a CPA, but like, I'm not your typical CPA. So I appreciate y'all giving me that grace to talk to you all like family. And I usually have to tell people to turn their cameras on. I'm on like page 8, and most of y'all got your cameras on, but then it's people like Ellen, Jay Knight, Selena, Lou. Like here's the thing, y'all. We gonna be a family. That means if you at home with your bonnet on, it's okay. Okay? If you ain't got your hair done, like, it's okay. All right. I just, talking to black screens is not my thing. So I just want to make sure that there we go. See, now cameras are coming on. I appreciate it. See, like Raquel, your hair is done. You got the coffee mug. You already good. Your camera could have been on this whole time. Right? There we go. Look, I appreciate y'all. I swear I do. So we're gonna have some fun today, as y'all may or may not know. I like to have fun when I teach. We're gonna have some fun today. So Carwana brought me in here to teach you all some tax strategies, which I'm going to do, right? But is it okay if I teach you all the best business lesson that I've ever learned first, and then go into the tax lesson, right? We don't have to, but like I paid $200,000 to get this lesson, and I want to share it so y'all don't have to pay to get the same lesson. Okay. Okay, cool, amazing, appreciate it. So me and Carwana met in the room because we have the same mentor, right? His name is Myron Golden. He's an amazing speaker, amazing coach. And he taught me this lesson that I'm gonna pass on to you today. And the lesson was there are hold on. There are three types of people on the planet, right? Three types of people. Now, here's the thing. I want you to identify with whatever person you are. We all gonna be a little bit different, okay? So he said there's three types of people. He said, first, there are freeple people. Freeple? He said, yeah, they're freeple people. He said, freeple people are people who are down to do anything as long as it's free. So they down to go out with you as long as it's free food. They down to come by your house as long as it's free. They down to pick your brain, right? Hey, can I pick your brain? As long as it's free. And he said, Carter, stay away from freeble people because they take, but they never give. And he said, the second type of person is what we call cheaple people. And he said, cheaple people are people who are down to do anything as long as it's cheap. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, family. This is me, okay? This was me. Like cheaple, like they used to call me Coupon Carter, okay? I'm not buying nothing if I gotta pay full price. Like, why would I do that? And like the thing about cheaple people is cheap doesn't mean you're broke. It just means you don't like spending money. Right? So I was a cheaper person for the first 30 years of my life. Like, let me know in the chat, is anybody else that is a cheaper, like y'all gonna leave me on this island by myself? Let me pull up my chat. There we go. I appreciate, thank y'all for being real, okay? Frugal, whatever you want to call it. I see, there we go. Okay, cool. So that was me for the first 30 years of my life, right? And then Myra said the third type of person is what we call preeple people. I was like, what does that mean? He said, preeble people are people who are down to pay a premium for the things that they desire. And he said, Carter, you know what's interesting about preeble people? He said, if what they desire is not at a premium price, they won't get it because they associate price with value. He said, Carter, what I need you to do, I need you to leave cheaple and I need you to graduate to preeple. He said, Carter, because this is your problem. He said, your problem is you still see yourself as the kid from the south side of Chicago that grew up, 8 of y'all in a 3-bedroom home. Mom died at 14, dad died at 16, living out of a hotel by age 17. He said, your problem is you still see yourself as that kid. And he said, the world will only start to see you for who you truly are once you start seeing yourself for who you truly are. And he said, I need you to leave cheaple. I need you to graduate to preeple. And I was like, yo, okay. Well, like, I mean, after I picked my heart up off the ground, I was like, okay, well, like, Myra, like, I don't know, how do I do that? And he was like, well, from this point on, commit to only giving yourself premium experiences. And I was like, okay. And so that day I ended up leaving the mastermind. On my way to the airport, it's in my head, premium experiences. So on my way to the airport, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to upgrade my flight from economy to first class. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if y'all remember y'all first class experience, but it changed the game for me. Like, drop me in the chat if you remember your first time ever flying first class, right? You walk in the plane. Hey, Mr. Cofield, how you doing? How you know my name? You don't know where I'm sitting. Like, hey, can I get you anything? They bring you the drink before the plane takes off, give you the washcloth. I'm like, yo. And here's the thing, y'all. It's like, because I don't want y'all to miss the point. It's not a bougie thing, right? It's not a bougie thing. It's just like, I know I'm not the only person in the room that came from a broken background that sometimes need to be reminded that I'm worth more, right? And so for like the first time in a long time, I started to feel like I was worth more, right? And so I started taking it from just planes to like hotels. So now when I go to hotels, I don't ask for the basic room. I ask, do you have any suites available? Like right now, I'm in a hotel room where like I have a Peloton. I have a Peloton in my room. I didn't know you can have Pelotons in your hotel room, right? And so I started giving myself only premium experiences. And then a few months later, I went back to Myron's next mastermind. It was a few months later, and I walked up to him like, yo, Myron, this premium thing is working. I'm starting to feel like I'm worth more. And on top of that, I'm starting to make more money in my business. And he said, Carter, this is exactly why I want you to do it. I said, okay, amazing. I said, you know what, Myron? Like, I've been working with you for a year. I want to renew for another year, right? I said, but do you have anything that's more premium than what I'm already paying for, right? And he looked at, he gave me a grin that only Myron Golden can give. He smiled at me. He said, Carter, I thought you never asked. He said, I have this thing called a VIP day where you get to fly with me on the private jet. I do one-on-one coaching on your business to an event, and then you get to watch me speak in front of 2,000 people. And on a flight back home, I'm gonna show you exactly why I taught what I taught and how I did what I did. He said, I think this will take your business to the next level. I said, okay, I think I want to do it. How much is it? He said, yeah, it's only $200,000. I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, Carter, it's only $200,000. I said, look, Myron, what you're not finna do, okay? What you're not finna do is put only behind $200,000 to act like it's not a lot of money. And he said, well, yeah, Carter, I mean, in order to do this, you got to put your premium pants on. I said, premium pants? I said, Myron, I don't got time for this conversation right now. So like, I let the day go by, and I went to my hotel room that night, and like, y'all, like I'm fighting with myself. I'm like, but what if it's actually information that I need to grow my business? I'm like, ain't no information worth $200,000. I'm like, but what if it could really change the game for me? It ain't gonna change the game for you that much. But remember, you committed to being a premium person. Ain't nothing that premium, right? I'm fighting with myself, and I'm doing the thing that a lot of us do, and that is we commit to something until it becomes inconvenient. Right? Like we commit to going to the gym so we can get our summer body right. But once the gym is harder than it's supposed to be, we stop. We commit to starting that business so we don't have to be a slave to our employer. But once the business is actually more work than the job, we stop. We commit to like this personal development journey, and I want to become a better version of myself. But once it's more expensive than we thought, we stop. And what I learned is that if you want the things you say you want, you need to commit regardless of circumstances. So that next day, I walked up to Myron and I looked him in the eye and I said, all I own is premium pants, my brother. Sign me up. And I went to his team. I signed the paperwork. I wired him the money. Now, before y'all give me more credit than I deserve, let me say this. That night, I did not sleep at all. You hear me? Like that, like, can I be honest with y'all? Y'all said we a family. Can I be honest with y'all? Like that night, I woke up in cold sweats, tossing and turning. Like, did you really just wire this man 200,000? And I don't know if y'all know about wires. Why you can't get that money back? It's gone, right? So I'm tossing and turning, and then what got me to go back to sleep was remembering one of my favorite quotes by Les Brown. And the quote goes, I would rather be uncomfortable for a night for the chance to be incredible for a lifetime. And so that night, I went to sleep finally, and a few weeks later, something amazing happened. Okay. A few weeks later, something amazing happened. I get a DM from this other CPA, right? And like, I don't really get DMs from CPAs, so they see me as competition. But this guy, he was like, yo, Carter, I love what you're doing on social media. You have the biggest brand on Instagram. He said, I want you to coach me on how to build a brand like you do. And like, I don't have an offer or a way to work. I don't have a program for other CPAs. But one thing that Myron did teach me is that the offer you don't make is the offer they can't take. And so I said, okay, bro, well, here's the thing. I can do that, but my hourly rate is $5,000 an hour, and the max I'll do in person is 5 hours. So in order for me to coach you, it's going to be $25,000. And I'll just send the DM. Now, I'm not thinking nothing of it. It's $25,000 for a day. I'm not thinking none of it. And the next morning, I kid you not, I woke up, I opened my DMs, and he said, and I quote, "Sounds good, bro. Send me the wire information so we can lock in a date." Send the wire. Like, I need y'all to understand how quickly this brother got the wire information. I have 2 assistants. I sent the wire information myself, because, if I'm being honest, because I wanted to make sure I got it to him before he changed his mind, right? And so I sent the information. He wired me the money. He flew down like the next month, and we did the one-on-one coaching day, and it was amazing. He got a lot of value, and I had to ask him. I said, "Duke, what made you pay me $25,000 when you didn't know me from a can of paint?" And he sat back and he said, "Well, Carter, when I looked around and I looked at the biggest brand on social media, I knew that you were the best. And if I knew that you were the best, I knew I couldn't expect you to be cheap." And that lesson freed me as a business owner for the rest of my life. And I learned the very important lesson, which is the best isn't the cheapest, and the cheapest isn't the best. And here's what makes it worse. If you are the cheapest, no one can ever believe that you're the best. And like where my ladies at? So ladies, let me just drive this point home. If you walk past a salon, my sister does hair for a living, right? If you walk past a salon and you saw $10 sew-ins, are you risking your hair on that? Like, you don't care if it's Queen Latifah from Barbershoppers, you're not stepping foot in that salon, right? Because she's too cheap to expect her to be the best. So why am I teaching you all this lesson? Well, if you're going to enter this government contract space, I need you to leave the scarcity mindset behind. Because if you're pricing to be the cheapest, they will know that you're not the best, and therefore you won't win the contract. So I need you all to commit to understanding that if you're going to be the best, start pricing yourself like the best. So let me ask you all this. How many of y'all in this room would like to start earning $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 for one day of work? Like, honestly, how many of y'all would like that to be your reality? Drop me in the chat. It should be everybody in this room, because if you don't like that, then you don't like money, we're in the wrong place, okay? So let me tell you why you can't before I tell you how you can. Okay? The reason why most of you can't do it yet is because you cannot charge what you are unwilling to pay. Well, let me say that again for the people in the back. I said, you cannot charge what you are unwilling to pay. Let me say it a different way so everybody can understand. Your unwillingness to pay is what makes you unable to charge. So the reason somebody asks your price is you say $10,000 because you never paid $10,000 for nothing. The reason you say $20,000 because you never paid $20,000 for nothing. And get this, the moment you give yourself permission to pay premium will be the same moment you give yourself permission to receive premium. Because as the Bible says, any amount that is too much to release is also too much to receive. Any amount that is too much to release is also too much to receive. So I want you all to give yourself permission to pay premium so that you can give yourself permission to receive premium. Like, if you know you deserve premium, can you just drop "I deserve it" in the chat? Like, come on, like, let me know. If you know you deserve premium, like in 2025 and 2026, can you drop I deserve it in the chat? Okay, so that lesson has been the most profitable business lesson I've ever learned. And I paid $200,000 to learn it, and I will pay that price every single day, because once I started to allow myself to pay premium, receiving premium was the easiest thing in the world. And everybody deserves that to be your reality. Okay. So with that being said, was that worth it, y'all? Because it actually took me 15 minutes. I didn't know it would take me that long. Hopefully that was worth it, and I didn't just waste 15 minutes of y'all time. But I promise I will make it up on the back end with this tax lesson. Okay. So okay, I guess it was received. Okay, so worth it, Lakia. Okay, I see you. Yasmin, Michael, Charlene. Okay. As long as it was worth it, I'm not upset at myself. All right, so now we got that behind us. Let's talk about how to keep the money. So the reason I love government contracts so much is because I thought that the only way to get your money back from the government was to avoid paying taxes, right? But when I met Carwana, she taught me something different. Like, Carwana taught me that you can also get your money back from the government by winning government contracts, right? And so when she told me that, like, I sat back and thought about it. I said, wait, well, actually, you can do both. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, you can win government contracts to get money back from the government. Then you can use the tax code to avoid paying taxes on the same money that the government just gave you. Please tell me y'all got that. I said, like, not only can you win a government contract, but you can use the government's tax code against them to not pay taxes on the money they just paid you. I said, oh, now we cooking with grease. Okay, so for those of you all that don't know, let me say this. For those of you all that don't know, the tax code is created to benefit entrepreneurs and investors, not employees. Okay, the tax code was created to benefit entrepreneurs and investors, not employees. Okay, but get this. Once you start making money via government contractors, whether you have an LLC or not, once you start making money via government contracts, you are a business owner to the government, which allows you to take advantage of the tax code and tax deductions for business owners, right? So I tell people all the time, like, whatever, like, because hear me clearly. I'm not telling nobody to quit their job. Like, I'm not, like, don't let social media trick you, okay? Like, your job is your first business partner. But hear me clearly. Whatever your job is willing to pay you to do from 9 to 5, someone else will pay to do that same thing from 5 to 9. Okay? Or better yet, whatever your job is paying you to do from 9 to 5, the government will pay you to do that same thing from 5 to 9. Right? So people, it pains me because people are, like, so upset about the 40 hours they sold their job, but they forget that they get 168 hours in the week. So if you sold your 40, what are you doing with the other 128? Right? So, like, once you start making money from government contracts, you can start winning the tax code. Okay. And so let me show you one of the best tax lessons I've ever learned. And hopefully this, like, if you learn this one lesson, you'll know more about the tax code than 90% of Americans. Okay. Sheila, you ready? Tasha, you ready? Timothy, you ready? Tila, you ready? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So here's the lesson. Taxes work differently for employees versus business owners. Okay. As an employee, this is how taxes work for most of you all. As an employee, you make money first, and then before you receive your paycheck, you have to pay taxes. You pay federal taxes, state taxes, and self-employment taxes. So you make money first, you pay taxes second, and then guess what? You pay yourself last. Right? So you make money first, you pay taxes second, and then you pay yourself last. But as a business owner or a government contract winner, things change, right? So this is how the taxes work for business owners. We make money first, And then we get to spend our money on tax deductible items like our rent, like our mortgage, like our cars, like our utilities, right? So we make money first, we then get to spend our money second, and then guess what? Then we pay the IRS last. You see, some of you all the reason why some of you all aren't winning the game financially is you're too busy paying the IRS first, when you should be paying yourself first and paying the IRS last. But get this, y'all, get this, y'all. Not only do we pay the IRS last, but guess what? We're going to implement tax saving strategies throughout the year. So at the end of the year, we're not going to have any taxable income left to pay taxes on. Like, y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So not only are you going to make your money first, but we're going to use a tax code to maximize our tax deductions. So at the end of the year, we don't have any taxable income left to pay taxes on. This is how the wealthy keep their money legally from the IRS. Okay, so now that y'all understand what to do, the next question is, how do we do it? So let me give you all the definition of what qualifies as a tax deduction, okay? And this is not Carter's definition, this is the IRS's definition. It says, allows a deduction for all of the ordinary and necessary expenses paid or incurred during the taxable year in a carrying trade or business, okay? In other words, let me say this in English, any expense that is both ordinary and necessary for you to operate your business, or any expense that's ordinary and necessary for you to conduct your government contract, that expense is tax deductible to you. Okay, now let me do this just to make sure I'm not losing anybody. Do we have any visual learners in the room? Do we have any visual learners in the room? Okay, cool. Would it be helpful if I walked you all like through an actual case, like a client case study on how this stuff works? Because I ain't trying to leave nobody behind. Okay, so I'm gonna go whiteboard. Let me see if my whiteboard will connect. I'm gonna go whiteboard, and I'm gonna walk you all through a client case study that we had, I think it was last year. So we had a client that won a government contract for $100,000, right? Now, the person had a W-2 job, but they won a government contract for $100,000, right? So they had hold on. There we go. They had business income of $100,000, right? Business income of $100,000. Now, on $100,000 as a business owner, you're going to pay about 30% in taxes. You got to pay federal taxes. Depending on where you live, you got to pay state taxes, and then you got to pay self-employment taxes, which is an additional 15.3%. So they were facing a tax bill of $30,000. Okay, somebody dropped too much in the chat. That's too much, right? That's too much. So they came to us and was like, "Hey, Carter, is there anything you and your team can do to help me avoid paying taxes on this $100,000 government contract I just won?" We said, absolutely. We're going to take advantage of tax deductions to help lower your taxable income. Okay, so let's walk through these tax deductions. The first thing is what we call the QBI deduction. Okay, does anybody know what this is, the QBI deduction? Okay, the QBI deduction is a tax deduction that the government gives you just for being a business owner. Say what? The qualified business income deduction is a tax deduction that you get just for being a business owner. How much is it? It's 20% of the net income in your business. Okay, so Carter, you mean to tell me that the government is going to give me a $20,000 tax deduction just for being a business owner? Exactly. The government is going to give you a 20% tax deduction just for being a business owner. right? So we get a QBI deduction off the top of $20,000. Now, the next thing we did is we said, hey, we're going to help turn some of your personal expenses into tax-deductible business expenses, right? We're going to help turn some of your personal expenses into tax-deductible business expenses. So let's do this together, y'all. I'm going to ask y'all a question. If I'm using my cell phone to call my customers, if I'm using my cell phone to call my clients, if I'm using my cell phone to call my team, would my cell phone count as ordinary and necessary to operate my business? So what does that mean? That means I get to write off a portion of my cell phone, but I also get to write off a portion of my cell phone bill. So if I use my cell phone 80% business and 20% personal, I get to write off 80% of the cost of the phone and 80% of the cell phone bill every single month. Okay, let's do another example. If I'm using this MacBook, so I use this MacBook 100% for business, right? It's like a $2,000 MacBook, right? Is this MacBook ordinary and necessary to operate my business? Right? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Because if I'm using the computer to run my business, then it's ordinary and necessary to operate my business. Now, here's the last thing. What about this? What about the internet in my home? If I need the internet in my home for my computer to even work, will my internet count as ordinary and necessary for me to operate my business? Right? I get to write up a portion of the internet that I use for business and a portion of the internet I use for personal, right? So here's the point I'm making. A lot of your personal expenses immediately become tax-deductible business expenses once you start the business, right? So we were able to turn $8,000 of his personal expenses into tax-deductible business expenses because now he had business income. Are y'all tracking? Drop yes in the chat if y'all still following. All right. So personal expenses to business expenses. Now what's next? Then we said, okay, well, we noticed when we looked over this client's expenses, we noticed that he's spent a lot of money on traveling, right? He spent a lot of money on traveling. And here's the thing, y'all. I love traveling as much as the next person, right? I'm traveling right now, right? But here's the thing. I don't believe in taking personal trips. Why? Because I understand that the IRS will allow me to turn any personal trip to a tax-deductible business trip as long as I find business activity in the location that I'm traveling to. So the question is, well, Carter, how do I find business activity in places I'm traveling to? I thought you never asked. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 ways to find business activity anywhere you're traveling to. Number 1, do you know anybody in that city or state? Sorry, do you have any clients in that city or state? Right? So if you have clients in that city, do me a favor, take your client out to dinner and discuss business. Right? Now, what if you don't have any clients in that city? Well, do you have any other entrepreneur friends or business partners in that city? If so, take them out to dinner, right? And when you take them out to dinner, make sure to discuss business at the dinner table. I don't know about y'all, but if you sit with me, we are talking business. Because what are we talking about? If we're not talking, if we're not talking business, what are we talking about? I need y'all to come with that type of energy in 2026. Okay. So after you're talking business at the dinner table, then when the bill comes, I want you to pay the bill. Okay. Then when you pay the bill, on the back of the receipt, I want you to write down 2 things. I want you to write down who you ate with, and I want you to write down what business was discussed. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a picture of the front of the receipt, and then you're going to take a picture of the back of the receipt, and then you're going to upload that to your bookkeeping software. And that receipt is going to be proof and documentation of that business meal. And if you do that, you get to write off 50% of that meal against the income in your business. Right? And that counts as business activity for the entire day. So Cardi, you mean to tell me an hour and a half dinner counts as business activity for the whole day? Yes. Okay, so now the question is, Carter, what if I don't know anybody in the city I'm traveling to? Well, if you don't know anybody in the city that you're traveling to, you can go to a website called eventbrite.com. What is this? This is a website that has hundreds of different networking events and conferences in every city that you can possibly travel to. I'm in San Diego right now. I checked Eventbrite this morning. They have 15 events going on right now. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna buy a ticket to the event. Some of them are free. You're gonna get a ticket to the event, attend the event, keep your badge and receipt for documentation. And guess what? Attending that event counts as business activity for the entire day. And here's the thing, y'all. If you do this on the days that you're traveling, guess what? 100% of your flight cost, tax deductible. Guess what? 100% of your hotel stay, tax deductible. Guess what? 50% of the meals you had while you were there, tax deductible. So now we just turn a 100% personal trip to a 100% tax deductible business trip. Okay? And we helped him increase his travel deductions by $15,000. Like, run the play in the chat if you're gonna run this play before the end of the year, okay? I see you, Shani said, who's that? She said, put us on game. Christina said, put us on game. Okay, cool. So let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. I'm running out of time. So the next thing we wanted to help him write off was his largest monthly expense. And a lot of people's largest monthly expense is their rent or their mortgage, right? So he said, Carter, there's no way I can like legally write off my rent or my mortgage or my taxes, right? And we said, actually, there's two ways. There's the Augusta rule and there's the home office deduction. So I asked him, I said, do you have any space that you work? So let me say this first. To qualify for the home office deduction, two things need to be true. Number one, you need to have a business, which we all just talked about how important having a business is. And number two, you need to have a dedicated place in your home where you solely work. So we asked him, do you have a dedicated place in your home where you solely work? He said, yeah, but Carter, here's the thing. I have a home office, right? I use a secondary bedroom for my home office, but my wife stores supplies in the basement for her business. He said, well, like, which home office should we take? What do y'all think I told him? There you go, Lynette, Trevor, Della, both. Right? Why choose either or when you can have both? So we were able to combine the space of the home office and combine the space of the basement. So when we did the math, 25% of his home was being used for business use. Okay? And so that means that we get to take his monthly rent, which is $4,000 a month, times the business use, which is 25%, which meant that he got a $1,000 per month tax deduction for working from home. 1,000 times 12, that means he got a $12,000 tax deduction for working from home. And the crazy part is, some of y'all have been working from home since COVID, which means you've been missing out on this deduction for the last 5+ years, right? And so we were able to help him write off his rent. All right, now the next thing is vehicles, okay, vehicles. So I don't know if you all knew this, but we have a new tax bill, and the new tax bill says we get the return of 100% bonus depreciation, right? Which means that if you buy a car and you use it for at least 50% business use, you get to write off all expenses associated with that vehicle in your business. And let me debunk a myth. Most people think that you can't write off your vehicle if your vehicle's not in your business name. That is false. The IRS does not care whether the vehicle's in your personal name or your business name. The IRS does cares about is, do you plan on using this vehicle at least 50% or more business use? And if you do, you can write off 50% or more of the cost of all the expenses. So interest on your car note, parking, repairs, gas, oil changes, maintenance, like all these, including depreciation. right? So we helped this client increase his vehicle deductions by $20,000 because he thought that he couldn't write off the expenses in his vehicle because the vehicle was in his personal name. Knowledge is everything. Okay, now, here's the last one, y'all. Here's the last one. Education. Now, I want to see y'all faces because I love asking this question. Here's the question of the day. Is education tax deductible? Is education tax deductible? I see yes, I see no, maybe so. I hope so. I hope so. So the answer is, it depends. It depends. Well, Carter, what do you mean by it depends? Well, and before I go on this soliloquy, let me say this, okay? I have a undergraduate degree in accounting. I have a master's degree in accounting. I'm a licensed CPA and I'm a licensed financial advisor, okay? I have more degrees than a thermometer, you hear me? But here's what I need y'all to understand. We've been tricked by society to think that it is mandatory to go to college for any profession and pay $100,000 for tuition to learn from somebody who isn't doing the thing we want to do and who isn't making the money we want to make. Respectfully, right? My college accounting professor never worked in accounting, which is crazy to me. And here's the thing, college tuition is not tax deductible. Let me say it again, college tuition is not tax deductible. You get a small tax credit for like lifetime learning credit, American Opportunity Credit, but once you make over $80,000, you're phased out from taking those credits anyway. So college tuition is not tax deductible. And to make it even worse, the $100,000 of student loans that you took out to pay for college is also not tax deductible because they cap your student loan interest deduction at $1,500 per year. But here's the crazy part, y'all. Here's the crazy part. You mean to tell me I can pay somebody like Tony Robbins and go to his conference and learn how to become a better business owner? You mean I can go pay somebody like Alex Hormozy who made $100,000 in a weekend and learn how to grow and scale my business? You mean I could pay somebody like Caruana who's got millions of dollars in government contracts and helps people do so? You mean I can pay these people who are doing the thing I want to do in real life and who are making the money I want to make? And guess what? Any money I pay for their conferences, any money I pay for their courses, any money I pay for their coaching is 100% tax deductible to me, the business owner. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, let me take it a step further. Just I need to make sure y'all get this. I hope I can shift some minds. Not only is the right type of education tax deductible, but get this. The IRS will give you a tax deduction whether you paid it with your money or whether you paid it with somebody else's money. Carter, you lost me. Okay, so let me let y'all on a secret. Y'all want to know how I pay for my mentors? This is what I did. I use debt to pay for the education, and then I use the money I make off the education to pay off the debt. Y'all like, are y'all getting that? Like, wealthy people, they use debt to pay for, they use debt to buy assets, then they use the money from the asset to pay off the debt. Some of you are like, well, Carter, you say you wire in the money. Yeah, but I took the money off of 3 0% credit cards, put them into my bank account, then wire him the money. So like I need y'all to understand, like, the wealthy people understand that debt is a tool to be used. So wealthy people, I'm gonna bring this home. Wealthy people, they use debt to buy real estate, use the cash flow from the real estate to pay off the debt. Wealthy people, they use debt to buy to start their business than use the money from their business to pay off the debt. Wealthy people use debt to buy information because information is an asset. They use the money from the information to pay off the debts. So the question is, Carter, like, why don't more people do this? Here's why. Most people are willing to finance everything but their future. Most people are willing to finance everything but their future. So they, you want to buy the car? Oh yeah, I'll finance that. Perfect, no problem. Oh, you want to buy the home? Yeah, 30, 50-year mortgage, no problem. Oh, you want to pay for information to better yourself? Oh no, I can't finance that. Right? And what I learned is that if you want to start earning like the 1%, you have to first start thinking like the 1%. So that was a long way of saying that the right type of education is tax deductible, right? So the money you pay for coaching and things like that is tax deductible. So this client didn't know that, and we were able to write off the $25,000 worth of money they spent on different courses, coaching, conferences, and all that stuff like that, right? So let's add all this up together, y'all. Let's add all this up together. So I got $20,000 in QBI deduction, $8,000 in personal business expenses, $15,000 in travel, $12,000 in rent, $20,000 for vehicles, $25,000 for education. If my math serves me correct, that means I have $100,000 worth of tax deductions. But wait a second. If I had $100,000 worth of business income, and I also have $100,000 worth of tax deductions, what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, that means that I now have a $0 tax bill. That means I now have a $0 tax bill. So I went from having a $30,000 tax bill to having a $0 tax bill by understanding the rules of the tax game. And let me tell you all this. The most expensive tax that most of you all in this room are paying is not federal tax. It's not state tax. It's not FICA tax. It's not property tax. The most expensive tax that most of you all in this room is paying is what I call the ignorance tax. The tax for not knowing how to legally avoid paying taxes. And y'all wanna know the crazy part? Taxes is not the only place where you pay for your ignorance. As a matter of fact, I want to do something together, y'all. Do me a favor. Everybody get out a sheet of paper. Get out a sheet of paper. We're gonna do something together. We're gonna do this exercise together. So Vince, Tony, Margie, Alyssa, Jason Pike, Dwayne, everybody get out a sheet of paper and wave at me when you got a sheet of paper out. Get out a sheet of paper and get a pen. We're gonna do a little exercise together. And I hope this helps. Cool. I see you, Carla. Okay, perfect. Antoinette, Diane. Okay, perfect. All right, so this on a sheet of paper. Please write this on your sheet of paper. Do not write this in the chat. Okay. I don't want anybody putting their business in the street. On your sheet of paper, I want you to write down how much money you earned last year. Okay. I want you to write down how much money you earned last year. And so I talked to Karwana earlier. She said the average income in this room is about $100,000, right? Some of y'all make more than that. Some of y'all make less than that, but the average income in this room is about $100,000. So everybody write your income on your sheet of paper. Now, Karwana, I came in when you were talking about when you were doing class, and is it correct that you said a student won a government contract for $735,000?
Yes. Lonnie. Yep.
It was how much was $735,000?
$735,000, and then a week, 4 days later, another $129,000.
Jesus Christ, what's that altogether? 173. I'm sorry, 735 plus
Yeah.
one. How much was the second one?
129 for 129.
Okay, that's 864,000. Okay, got it. Thank you. So do me a favor, y'all. On your sheet of paper, write down $864,000. Okay, and write it like